Hey there, so we're gonna try this again where I create and talk at the same time and see how it goes. Hopefully it will go well. All right, so we're gonna do a layout in my memory planner. I have a few photos to add and I've already added a few because what I have been doing is I have been printing them and adding them like as the weeks go. That is one of the things that is a little bit easier to keep up with if I do it that way versus having to bulk add a bunch of photos later on. So I'm going to be using some stickers from Simple Stories as my main focal point this week. And these are, as you can see, like a back to school type sticker. And yeah, it is my youngest son's first week of school in this layout, and he is a senior, so this feels especially something. And okay, so I'm gonna use a couple patterned papers as accents too. I was thinking this one was super cute and went well, but then also the back side is this blue, which obviously goes. And then this sheet of paper, but I was gonna use the orange with the dots because it goes also. And then these sort of aqua squiggles because they also go. So I don't know which of these things we'll use, but I pulled them out because they all go together and I think they would look nice. So first I will go ahead and trim up the photos. These are 4x6 prints. The photos, well, you know, approximately, right? Because digital prints aren't quite exact. And so then the photos are around 2x3. And yeah, I just really like this size of photo in my memory planner. I feel like it's actually, for me, the perfect size. Anything smaller, and I can't quite, like, it just doesn't feel right. So that's why for now, I'm still using a big happy planner, which is, 8.5 by 11. It just all feels right based on what I have going on and what's going on in my life. However, this probably won't always be this way, and I would simply move to a smaller planner, or I could also, more decoration, I guess, is kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll see. I don't need to think about that right this second. Okay, so a couple of the photos on here are for the following week. So I printed those just so I could fill up the whole print. Okay, so let's see. I like to do them on the days that they occur, if that's possible. It's not always possible. So when it is, that's what I do. And when it's not, then yeah, I don't. So, all right, I guess I missed a photo, which is fine. Okay, so now, all right, so my son did the first part of his senior photos and took our dog, and our dog was recently diagnosed with a really aggressive cancer. We actually had to put her to sleep yesterday, as a matter of fact. And so, yeah, I was including as many photos of her as possible just because we knew that the time was limited. All right, so I will go ahead and add the photos when they work on the days that they occur, and it works out fine this week. And I like to overlap them a little bit because I prefer it that way. I like how it looks. And then also because it saves a little space, especially the weeks when I have a lot of photos. Okay, so now I have all the photos, right? They're all ready. That's the bulk of what's going on. So now I'm going to take a look at the stickers and I'm going to see what do I want to use for decoration this week, right? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this just because it's super cute and it goes with my photo for the first day of school, right? Now I'm going to create three clusters of main decorations, one here, and then I think here, but maybe here, we'll see. So I'm going to pull out this and I'm going to use, I think, the squiggle. And I think I will actually also use, let's do 2 of these. I like this color, it's pretty, and it's, I don't want to say neutral, but like because it's a little bit more of a pastel, it's going to take up less visual space, blend in a little bit better. And that's kind of what I want almost always in my memory planner, if we're being honest, because I want the photos to be the focal point. All right, so now what I will do is take these 3, I'm gonna put 1 over here. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that one right there. Okay, and then 1 down here. So then that creates a visual triangle. If you're new to scrapbooking or my content or anything like that and are not familiar with what a visual triangle is, it is when you have 3 items and you can draw a triangle in between those 3 items. That's a design principle that there's a lot more to say about it, or some more to say about it, but it's very pleasing to the eye. So that is why we do it. And it's done in lots of design, not just like scrapbooking and paper crafting. All right, so now let's see what we're going to add. We are going to add, we're going to add this here because it's very cute and I like it. At the moment, I'm just thinking about what I want to add, what I think can go nicely with all of these things, and how to put them all together. So that's kind of where we're at here. Now, again, this is related to the visual triangle, but I like to keep my clusters in items of 3 and 5. So usually 3, sometimes 5. I mean, occasional, like rarely 7. But again, it's really more about 3, sometimes 5. And again, it just is pleasing to the eye. And also trying to figure out where to place those items so I like how that they look. Because as you know, we all know, and I talk about a lot here, that's really what matters, is what looks good to you. It doesn't matter if what you make looks great to me because I have my own projects, right? And I'm focused on those and I want my projects to look the way that I want my projects to look, and you should feel the same way about yours, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take some, let's see, I'm gonna pull out this stack of Bella Boulevard letter scramble alphabet stickers, and I want to see if let's see. I can probably get these to work. So, sorry, I was looking to make sure if I had enough of each particular letter, you know, those types of things. And I'm going to give it a go. I have another sheet of the red ones if I need it. And I really would probably prefer to use this font. This is my favorite, obviously, but I'm going to use this one instead. I like the red. I'm kind of in a red era, for lack of a better word, right now. And that's very unusual for me. So I'm going with it because I'm liking it. So I might as well use it. I'm not particularly fussy when it comes to placing stickers like this. If they're not completely perfect, it's all right. I really honestly am not that bothered by it. I used to do a lot of making them not flush along the edge to sort of combat that problem, and I definitely still would. I just haven't been. But again, I'm not a perfectionist ever in almost anything, so I don't worry about that so much. Okay, so now am I ever so slightly annoyed I didn't do the spacing better? Sure, but I know that when it all is finished and together, I'm not going to care that much. So, all right, so now I'm going to put these alphabets to spell out along here, and I wanted to try to pull this one sticker off, and it's not coming off. That's what it's, I'm slightly distracted from talking. All right, so I wanted to put this here, and I do like to add them a different way, right? So I could have done it right here or down here, but I also like, you know, like tilting it on its side as well. I just like the way that ends up. I love these alphabet stickers. I talk about them in a lot of my videos because I think that they are a really great value, but I don't know if you're going to be like me at all, but I don't want to think about buying them that often. Even if I didn't care about the cost, I want them to be available when I want them to be available, right? So it's one of the things I like about these sheets a lot is that I'm not going to run out of alphabet stickers right away. Like I don't feel like I need to be watching out or whatever because yeah, there's plenty of them. So they're going to not run out. And I like that. I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, it's really about like, yeah, I don't want to worry about it. Okay. So now I've got this back to school thing. I've got this angels, and then over here, I'm going to do another one here. And what I want to do is I'm hopeful. Okay, so I'm not, I got to think about this for a minute because I want to spell out senior picks. but I wanted to use these little. So I figured it out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do senior in the same alphabet that we already used. And then I'm going to do picks in the smaller one because A, you know what? There's no A, B, C, D. That's just what I want to do. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know if it'll look good or not. We'll find out. And if it doesn't, A, I can remove it. And B, I'm not sure it really matters. Like, is it going to look that terrible? Even if it's not my favorite? Probably not. So, and then my page will be finished and I'll be super happy about that. Not when I finish putting these alphabets, but you know what I mean? Like once I, do this week, it'll be done. So even if there's something I don't love about it, it's okay. Like it's finished and it's good and it's cute. And I feel like that's okay. I think sometimes done is better than perfect. I don't mean like, oh, I hate it. I just mean like, oh yeah, maybe I could have done this differently or whatever, but it's done and that's awesome. So, and again, I think down the road, when you go back and you look at the project, I really don't think I'm going to care about most of these things, honestly. Okay. All right, there, that turned out just fine, right? Okay, so now that part, I'll say the decorating part is finished, except for now I'm thinking about how I'd like to take these stickers and let's see, back to school, we're gonna take this one, because these are some of my favorites. No, you know what? I'm not going to use this one because it already says back to school right next to it. So we're going to forget that one. Let's look and see what we got here. You're A+ in my book. Let's see. We're going to do all day long. Then we're going to do mistakes happen. Then we're going to do rise and shine. And did I maybe go a little overboard here? Perhaps. However, I don't really care. It's fine. Okay, now mostly done, right? I want to add my journaling and specific activities / appointments, things like that. So let's see here. We're going to add this and then that might be it, except for here. All right, so I will pull out my stickers. All right, we're gonna do these orange ones because actually, that's a lie. We're not gonna do that. Well, we might in a minute. Okay, first, We're going to do this one. Then we're going to do this orange one because A, orange is not a color I use very often, and B, we have the orange down here, so I'd like to sort of pull that in a little bit because I've done a ton of red, and then obviously I did red there, so there's just lots of that going on. All right, now it is time to start with the writing. So we'll go ahead. Now on this one, I did write the date because I put the box on Tuesday. Part of both photos are on Tuesday, and we went to the game on Wednesday. Now, you know I normally don't care about such things, and I really still don't care that much about it. But with baseball, like, you know, there's a game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, I don't, you know, 10 years from now when I look at this, we could have gone to the game on Tuesday because it kind of looks like we did. So I just wanted it to be that it was on the correct day because it was fine and I had room to add that to my sticker. So that's why I did that. All right, now I'm going to pull these out because I'm going to add a few lines so that I can do the tiniest bit of journaling. And you know, I don't always get to add as much as I would maybe want to say because there's a lot on a particular layout and I don't have room, but that's all right because I figure this is more than I would have had I not done this, right? Okay, so I'm going to stick this one down and well, first I'm going to start up here. Okay, then we're going to go down here. I erase the lines when I'm finished, so I don't need to worry so much about that. That's why I use pencil. And let's see, we have room for one more. Oh, we got room for one more. Now, I don't know if I'll actually need this many. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to because I don't need to because it's the bottom of the page, right? I don't need that many. Yeah, okay. So now we're just gonna write first day of school. Then down here, now we will go to the other side. And this is kind of one of those things that like this particular side, like I know there's stuff I want to say, but I'm not sure what that is. And so I need to think about a little bit what I'm going to say. I know that sounds kind of silly, but some of the, like this, it's a story about like something that happened in the photo. It's not so much about like just, oh, we went and we took these pictures. Like there's more. So yeah. It often takes a little bit to, you know, get that all down on the page sometimes. I also like to not make the journaling stacked. So like, okay, have it just be like this, right? Justified, all of it going the exact same way. I like to add a little bit of more, I'll call it organic borders, where they're like, oh, you know, this one stops here and this one starts here. I just feel like it feels more casual that way and less forced. And that's pretty much what I'm always looking for as far as vibes go in my personal journaling, memory keeping projects. I want things to feel casual and easy. And so this just sort of goes along with that. And if I draw the lines that way, then it helps me when I'm journaling, as opposed to like just writing and counting on me figuring out that while I'm doing it. If you are a person who can write straight, I am so happy for you. That is amazing. Like, I so wish I was that type of person, but I'm not. And so that is why writing the straight lines and erasing them works brilliantly. And I can't say enough good things about it. It helps me get the end result that I want without it being painful or stressful. And I absolutely go in waves where I do the lines with pen and leave them, obviously, but I'm currently in a pencil and erase them place. So I like to do both. Sometimes I'll even use like a marker and then have them be different colors, you know, just depends on what I'm feeling. Right now, I'm just very much in my clean and simple way of doing things. So now I could have just left these, but I wanted you to see like how it all comes together in its entirety without leaving the lines, because I think that, you know, it does make a difference and it does look different. So, all right, so all I have to do after this is add the date stickers up at the top, which is a bigger challenge because I'm starting to run out of them in the like configurations, like, oh, I need 11 through 17 in the same color that coordinates with this. So I'm starting to not always have that. So let's check it out and see if I do have what I need. All right, so we'll add these back just because I prefer the cohesiveness of how they look when they are in the discs. All right, so let's add the date stickers. All right, so I can go any which way. Like I don't have a particular thought about color. So do you see what I mean? Like I don't have anything on this page that I could use. Let's see, anything there? No. Maybe this dark purple, but oh no, not even the dark purple. Not light purple. And this isn't like a me misusing it type of thing. It's just how it gets used a lot, right? And yes, I could use these tiny ones and I will absolutely end up doing that. I don't want to yet. So again, I'm not going to. Okay, so we need the 11th. Okay, I have the light blue. It'll do in a pinch. I have the purple. It doesn't really match at all. I have this like navy-ish, which I think would be fine. I have the orange, so that's right now my contender. I have this coral also, which is very lovely. I have the hot pink. I don't want to use that. All right, I'm going to go with, oh, you know what? I'm going to go with red because honestly, I use red almost never. So this is kind of perfect. And again, I know I might be shooting myself come Christmas time, but that is a problem for future me to work out. All right, gang, that is it. That is this particular week in my memory planner and a back to school week. And I think that turned out super cute. I will go ahead and link the supplies that I used for you down below in case you like the stickers or the pattern papers or whatever. And I will see you back here real soon.